is this, anyways? I just walked inside this hotel room and there's a big rock and roll band playing.
Well, it's a big get-together to say thank you to all us volunteers.
Oh, really? This is the volunteer party?
Yep.
Okay, and you're a volunteer?
Yes, sir.
And you have a red shirt on. What's your name?
Audrey Ross.
And where are you from?
Denver.
Oh, what do you do in real life, Audrey?
Work, automotive warehouse.
Okay, and what did you do, what were you doing as a volunteer?
Working in special events. We help the handicapped get to their seating areas. I helped Father Woody get down for his invocation today.
Oh, now look at, what's this, who's the band up here, do you know, or?
I don't know, but they're good.
What is this, you guys get free beer, free sandwiches, free everything?
Yeah, free everything.
Oh, wow, this is quite the party. Air conditioned in here. I happened in here by accident. I'm probably not supposed to be here. I don't have a red shirt on.
I'm sure somebody will lynch you there.
Oh, well, okay. Now, what's your name, sir?
I'm Robin Backstrom.
And where are you from?
I'm from Denver. I work for Texaco.
Oh, you work for Texaco? Oh, good. Well, you'll probably let me in then, huh?
Sure. It's on the house.
It's on the house? Really? What are all the volunteers getting? A free party? Free beer?
Beer and hors d'oeuvres for a minimum of 30 hours of service. And most of us have worked closer to 100 hours.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a lot better than the press room. You guys got a band down here. All right, now where's the dance floor?
You're standing on it.
Oh. So, well, we're going to be dancing here pretty soon, I guess, huh?
Sure.
Okay, well, good talking to you. Thanks for both of you being with us today. Yes, you can hear the rock and roll in the background. Isn't this fun? Golly, I think I'm going to go find me something cold to drink. Jann Scott, KNUS.
One, two. 1, 2. Check. Check. Check.
Yeah, 55,000.
55,000. Are there possibilities for more grandstand seatings?
I think so.
There were more people around the fences. They said they couldn't really see.
Yeah. We've got a lot of tape.
Yeah.
So not only will we be looking at this from an analytical perspective numerically, but it'll be a visual analysis as well. And we're going to put some things together and it'll give us a story that we can improve upon.
When will you begin to analyze this and issue some kind of a report or evaluation to the public?
Well, I'm going to start tonight. We'll get together in the morning. We've got to be out of the park in a couple of days. But as to a final report, I think it's premature to know how much we've got to analyze to know when we'll turn out a report.
Are you going on vacation?
No way.
You're not?
I'm too interested in seeing what we did. That's my wife. Yeah, I'll take a couple of days off. A couple of days.
What are commuters going to see in the morning?
They'll be, I tell you what.
Like it never happened?
No. You can't move 5-6 miles worth of barriers and fencing overnight, but the main thoroughfares will be open. We'll work all night tonight to begin moving out of the park. We've got to be out of the park Tuesday, Wednesday for Taste of Colorado. And we have an army moving in out there right now to get it done.
Andy, how much sleep have you been getting over the past 3 days?
I got to tell you, we got a lot of pros in this operation. I sleep pretty well.
You do? Okay. Andy, with all the stuff that your dad has done in this town, do you see this as kind of a way of making an identity for yourself, or is this something of a coming out for you in any way?
I've never struggled with my identity, and I admire my father, and living in his shadow was a comfortable place. So he's a good man, and I don't think I'd be here without him. So it's just the new age is the youth of Denver and Colorado. We're moving forward, and we have some things to say, and we're saying them not bad in the first chapter.
Did you have an opportunity to drive a race car yourself around the course?
You know, I sure didn't want to. Wally took me around once or twice. I was on my scooter often out there, but I was a little bit too busy running a race to enjoy the track like that.
It is important that at the first race that you had a Prince Albert, a prince.
Yes.
That's never happened before.
Prince Albert was here. He had a good time, and I think he'll come back. I think he had a real good time.
This is not the Prince Albert in a can.
Do you think you have a little a better bargaining position now with the city and some of the merchants and
to get some more concessions for next year?
Well, I think there were no incidences, there were no mishaps, so I hope by our being the professionals we told everybody we were, that we've removed some of the mystery and some of the fear. And with that, I expect them to reconsider getting more involved with us. I mean, we didn't do this because of racing. We did it because of economic development. We just happened to have the biggest show on earth. It's called Indy Car. So you put those two things together, and everybody's supposed to get something out of it. But time will tell. We'll see.
Is this a bigger success than you ever imagined?
With Mayor Pena here at the press conference. So now that we're finished with today's events, what are your final reactions to the race today?
Well, I think it was a great success. It exceeded all of our expectations. We had more people than we thought we were ever going to have. We had, some little problems we're going to correct, make it much better next year. I think we're going to have more people next year. And given the fact this is our first year, all the response that I've gotten from the cart people and others indicate that we've probably done, a better job than most cities.
The crowd seemed to be pretty well behaved. Did the police department report any significant arrests that you can think of?
Absolutely not. We had maybe one or two incidences, but they were very minor. We had, I think those happened on Friday, which was open to the entire public. Saturday and Sunday was very good. So we had a well-behaved crowd. People came to have fun, to watch the race, to support the drivers. And I think people were just so excited, they were thrilled. So we had minor problems.
There was a foot race this morning. Did you participate in that?
I'm recovering from a shoulder injury, so I haven't had a chance to get back on the track yet. But maybe next year I can run it.
Did you see the foot race at all, or were you counting Z's at that point?
No, actually, I had a meeting with some business people at 9 o'clock in the morning. One of the things that we did from the city side was to bring in business people from around the world who were interested in investing in Denver, and so we were hosting them at a breakfast this morning, and they had a very good time too.
What kind of business people did you bring in? Like who, as an example?
Well, I don't want to mention the names, but I can tell you that they're airline-related people, light manufacturers, some aerospace people, that kind. People who are thinking about investing in the city. And so we did two things. We brought them in on Friday. We showcased the city. We talked to them about all the really exciting things that are happening in the city, from the new airport to convention center, and they had a good time. And so that was one of our objectives.
This day really went off without a hitch, didn't it? I mean, it's pretty amazing.
No, I mean, in terms of all the people that were here, the race started on time. We had no problems. Everyone had a great time, and as I walked through the crowds, people were just thrilled, saying, "God, thank you for bringing this race to Denver, and bring it back next year." That was the uniform response that I got from people that I talked to.
Okay, thanks, Mayor Pena. Merl Holbrook, National Speed Sport News, one of the oldest motor racing reporters in Colorado. Merl, just quickly your comments on the events today and yesterday.
Well, I think that, just like the driver said, it's the best first event ever.
I talked with AJ Foyt. He said he hated the course. Did you talk to AJ?
Yeah, I talked to AJ, or as much as anybody ever talks to AJ.
Without slugging you, but you're bigger than AJ.
Well, of course, I knew AJ's father real well. I knew AJ before he could even drive. But AJ, if he didn't complain, he's not feeling good.
Oh, so he always complains.
Well, I think so.
So what did you think of the course, Merl, as somebody who's been around road courses for a long time?
Well, there again, don't ask me to talk about a paved road course, because I'm an old dirt track old dirt track man.
Okay, I'll retract the question.
But on the other hand, I think that it's probably a good course. It was a good course. It's probably, the surface is one of the best surfaces that they've had, that I've seen, that the Indy cars have had to run on. Now, Long Beach is terrible, and Detroit's worse. So, but I think this is one of the best surfaces they've had the opportunity to run on. Now, they didn't have the opportunity to get up the speeds, and true, at this altitude, the air is too thin to get the efficiency from the brakes and the motors and stuff. But outside of that, it was even for everybody.
Okay, thanks, Merl. Good talking to you this afternoon. Merl Holbrook with National Speed Sport News. Good. Can we talk for a minute? I'm Jann Scott with KNUS Radio. I was just wondering, are you guys planning on going on vacation, and where are you going to try to drag him off to?
Probably another race.
Another race? Really? You haven't had much attention in the media at all. Have you been a long-time race fan?
About the last 2 years since we've been studying it.
So you think you're going to end up going to another kart race someplace?
Oh, absolutely.
So you're going to try to drag him away for a few days, even though he says he's going to go back to work?
Yes, and I'll be successful.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for your time. Good talking to you. You what?
No.
No. Yeah, Rosemary Hanratty, who ran the press office for the Grand Prix. Now that the event's finally over, how you doing?
I'm exhausted.
You look really suntanned, and you look very well for somebody who's been working 24 hours a day for the past, tell us about that.
About 3 weeks. We've been working probably 14-hour days, 16-hour days for about the past 3 weeks.
Now, you and I hooked up the first time when Dominic Dobson came into town back in April. And how much have you been working with the press office since then?
All the time. Well, yes, it's sort of become a big job, especially in this last month. But we've been working on the publicity all along, and we've had drivers in and done different things so people would know about the race.
What are some of the things that you've had to do just here in this media center? In fact, could you just describe it for those people who never would have seen this or have any idea what a media center is for a kart race?
Actually, we took over the whole mezzanine level of the Radisson Hotel, and so we actually have a hospitality area. We have a working press area. We have an interview room that's separate, and a deadline room that's sort of our quiet room, a radio room, and then we have a room for kart and SCCA, and a whole copying center.
How many people did you have working or volunteering on your staff for, what would we call this, the press office? Is that the best way to describe it?
We call it the media center.
Okay, media center, but that's for the working press.
We had almost 20 people working here.
20 people. How many registrations did you have from the international, or how many from the press? Like myself, radio, television.
Actually, we'll know all those totals on Tuesday, but hundreds, literally.
Hundreds?
Hundreds, over 500.
Can you say over 500 press? Can you say? Can you tell us some of the countries that people have come from?
Australia, Italian press. We had 2 different associations from England. Okay.
On our show on Friday night, we had people from Switzerland, Italy, AP. It was pretty amazing. So you're telling me 500 press registrations. That's probably more than any sporting event Colorado's ever had.
Yeah, and I think it's because the event went over several days, and so in some cases we had to credential press that were taking shifts to work, but there was an enormous amount of pressure.
So when the press starts complaining, I noticed some of the columnists, and we won't mention who they are, were complaining in their columns that they had to wait in big long lines. That's because there were 500 members of the press that registered for this event?
Well, I think, yes, that's probably it. They were tripping over themselves, I guess.
You get the press interviewing the press. Okay. All right, well, thanks, and good talking to you.
Nice talking to you.
Standing in the media center here at the Texaco-Haviland Grand Prix, many members of the press wandering around. Test. Okay, we're in the media center. Going to talk with Scott Stocker, who is really on deadline here right now. Scott, you look really stressed out. You're the motor racing reporter for the Rocky Mountain News. This had to be a very hard weekend on you.
Well, I think it was hard on everybody at the Rocky Mountain News, and probably hard on everybody at the media, especially since it was a first time here in Denver. I know that I have to admit I've been a little stressed out about it, and Randy keeps telling me keep my cool. Randy Holtz, he's been doing a lot of this stuff, but yeah, it's been a new experience for me.
Yeah, and you're a seasoned motor racing reporter. I mean, if there's any here in Denver, you're certainly the guy.
Well, I felt like a rookie, that's for sure, when it came to the kart. because I'm just not that knowledgeable. I don't, I just don't know that many people.
Let's see now. What time is it now? It is to 4:20, and what's your deadline for the Rocky Mountain News?
7 o'clock, or as quick as I can get it in.
7 o'clock, and then the story's going to be out tomorrow morning?
It better be.
It better be. Are you going to be on the front page story, obviously, for tomorrow, yeah?
Well, I'm sure it's going to be somewhere.
Rocky Mountain News, I hate to say this, and I'll walk with you if we're walking someplace, certainly seem to beat the Denver Post in its coverage with your all your Grand Prix sections. Pretty amazing. How many people did you have working on it?
Oh, gosh, we had a bunch. You can count, business section, science section, news section, and sports. It was a kind of an all-out effort by the whole paper.
Okay. Good talking to you, Scott Stocker, Rocky Mountain News, and we'll read the news tomorrow morning.
Thanks, Jan.
Jerry Van Dyke's been, and Meg Van Dyke. Meg, come on over, too. Both of you have been covering this event for KNUS. You've been on the story since Thursday. As things start to wrap up and reporters run to their computers, etc., what's your final impressions of not only the media center, but how this entire event has been run?
Well, I would have to tell you that the first thing I was impressed with was Andy Schlinker and his comments today. I think they really did an excellent job, everything considered. And to sit there and say, yeah, we made some mistakes, we tried to adjust to cover for them, and we're going to adjust again, I think it was great. And I was very impressed with him today and his conversation about this race and how things went. I would have to tell you from the driver's interview, I think they had a tremendous time here on the course. I think it was a fun course for drivers to run. And you talk about a driver's course, this was it. And I truly think they had a lot of fun out there.
From the point of the electronic media, I just finished talking with Scott Stocker, #1 newspaper motor racing reporter in Colorado. He said that it was overwhelming for him. Now, for you, as far as I can tell, you were certainly the guy who was on the air more in the electronic media than anybody, running reports down every hour. How did that work for you for the first time in a major event here in Denver?
I think it worked really well. The reports were short enough that we had to get quite a bit into a report. We tried to keep them informative. We went all the way from instructing people where to park to talking about some important things that were going to occur on the race. I enjoy doing them that way, and then I think today that when we were on the air with a variety of reports for a period of time, it really worked nicely to give people a real flavor of what went on here on the track and off the track.
Now, Meg Van Dyke also involved in racing, and Meg, you were working with Jerry the whole time. What were you doing? I know that the two of you work as a team, and it takes two people to get these kind of news reports out every hour. It's certainly when you're live for 4 hours. So how was it for you today?
Today in particular, or
yeah.
most of the, okay. Today in particular, what you generally do is you do the teamwork, one running the advance, the other one coming up for the interview and doing the discussion. I keep the paperwork and make sure that he has his facts accurately.
Okay, was this media center during the race? I mean, was it just, were there tons of people in here? I actually, I was out on the course, so I never saw any of it.
Most of the media take off and find positioning around the course during the time of the race. At lunch hour, between the two races, it was mayhem in here.
It was. For lunch, you mean? Everybody was feeding, is that it?
Well, that was one of the things. The other thing were the results were coming in, and all of the information came out of CART prior to the race and preparatory to the race.
Okay, Jerry Van Dyke, Meg Van Dyke, yeah, Jerry.
I think one thing that you have to remember, too, is once the race gets underway, you have specific media with specific duties. I think the broadcast media, other than television, was here doing their job. The print media was here doing their job. We had all the photographers out on the course. So you're not going to have a jammed media center until the race is over, because everybody's at a specific place doing a specific job.
Okay, Jerry Van Dyke and Meg Van Dyke, thanks very much. And actually, well, we'll be talking to you as we go on the air at 6 o'clock. Okay.
Or thereabouts. What time do you want me to come?
1, 2, 3, here we go. Louis Frank, Motorsport Actuel from Switzerland. We're back again. We were on Friday night for the longest time. What kind of comments? You must have a million things to say about this day.
As well, I think that the crowd was great. It was a great, safe race. It exposed a whole lot of new people to racing. Exciting racing. Everybody was worried about brakes boiling over and terrible crashes like a movie RoboCop or something. Didn't happen.
Well, I was really surprised when Teo Fabi just blew down that main straightaway, lost his brakes, and went into the tires.
Yeah, well, they're still looking at it, but there was something about the heat, and perhaps he boiled his brake fluid. It's a little too early to know about that. Like I said Friday, this is a fun event. While I was walking around the paddock, I saw Stephen Stills and Crosby, David Crosby.
Oh yeah, David Crosby. Yeah, we talked to him.
And it's a lot of fun.
Did you see Judy Trifudi?
I don't know her.
She's a funny comic. She was out there wandering around.
Yeah, the thing is, come out, see what it's like and enjoy it. If you don't like it, don't come back. But
no, hey, there were lots of 55,000 people here. It's incredible.
It's a great party. And they have a car race.
And people did not get drunk and beat one another up at this event. It was really very friendly and nice.
And that's the way it should be. And I want to thank Denver. I think you're a great host city, and we'll be back next year.
Now, when does your publication come out in Switzerland? This is Motorsport Actuel.
It will hit the streets of Switzerland and Germany on Wednesday, and National Speed Sport News in America will be published on Thursday.
Well, now, is this a weekly Motorsports Actuel?
Yes, it is. It covers racing all over the world, and because kart racing is a series of international interest, Porsche, Alfa Romeo, and all this other stuff, they're interested.
Well, now Switzerland is a language of four countries, four languages: French, Italian, German, and what's the fourth one? I can't remember.
You got me. I was born in Brooklyn.
You were born in Brooklyn. What language is the publication published in?
It's a German publication published in Zurich, so the magazine reaches Germany and Austria. So it's a worldwide event. I mean, it sounds like a lot of hype, but there is interest.
What's the circulation?
Oh, it's about 100,000.
100,000, okay. And what do? You have to fax your stuff or send it over by FedEx, or do you send it by messenger?
I faxed it. I'm kind of like Clark Kent. Any telephone booth turns me into Superman. And I create the story on my computer, send it over the telephone line.
And wait a minute, can you actually use your fax machine in a telephone booth?
I can use my computer to play fax without making plugs. I'll plug MCI Mail. Wonderful. Swear by it.
What's MCI Mail?
If you have a computer, MCI Mail is electronic message board. And they give you a 1-800 number, and any place in the U.S., I type my story into my computer. I call them up. I send them a message. And they get it in Washington someplace, and they turn it into a fax. I don't know how they do it, but it works. It comes out the other end looking like a fax that I shove through a machine like a Xerox machine.
Okay, Louis Frank, good talking to you from Motorsport Actuel, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Live at the celebration party going on for all the course workers. Andy Schlinker is up on stage right now reading off some of the names of the people as we make our way around here. And these are all the volunteers. All 2,000 of them in the grand ballroom here. We're in the grand ballroom of the Radisson Hotel. Major party going on for all the volunteer workers. You can hear the celebration continuing on as all the workers of this event seem to probably have at least the best time in store for them and maybe those who even attended. Now you've been at the party here for a couple of hours, and we talked earlier. How are things going now?
We're getting drunker.
You're drunk? Oh, that's great.
We're having a good time.
I can tell. Now, Andy Schlinker was just up on stage. What did he say, anyways?
He thanks all of us for being here and doing what we did. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. We met a lot of nice people. Physical punishment. There was a lot of physical punishment.
Yeah, you were whipped regularly.
Yes, here's my whipper right here.
Well, as you can tell, everybody is having a good time. With Kenny, who's the truck driver for the Newman Haas team, the big Kmart truck. Your name's Kenny, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And you're the official truck driver?
One of four. This is the other Ken that drives the deal.
Is that right? Are you guys like professional truck drivers?
No.
Now, come on, you can't, huh? You can't. No, why not? Now, come on.
I'm in the shower right now.
You're gonna go in shower?
I'm going to shower. I've been on the road to Vancouver, so I can be there. So my boss give me a raise next week.
Oh yeah, okay. Just trying to talk to you about truck driving. Now, do you guys do you have a big sleeper in the back of this?
Little one. A little one.
A little sleeper? But you know.
Putting that stuff in there. Yeah, it's just a little sleeper.
A little sleeper? How fast will it go? Does it have do you have turbos in this and everything? Do you guys do you get going at night?
Yeah. It'll go whatever you want it to, I guess. It's 55 is the legal limit.
Yeah, well, of course, you always drive 55. Now, do you have CBs in there?
Yeah, we got a CB.
CB? Yeah, and do you get along pretty well with all the other truck drivers?
That's difficult. Sometimes we don't have the opportunity to really talk to them. We just keep going to the next destination.
Oh. What's your favorite truck stop in the United States?
None of them.
Do you guys
stop for fuel, but we don't go to no truck stops.
You don't go to truck stops?
Just for fuel and we go, you know.
Do you race with all the other truck drivers like across the country?
No, because we all come from different points usually.
Okay, Kenny, good talking to you. Thanks.
Sorry. Okay, enjoy.
Okay, bye-bye.
Tell you one thing though, we really thoroughly enjoyed Denver.
You did?
Yeah, we're looking forward to coming back next year.
Well, what made you enjoy Denver?
The people are very nice. The city is clean and modern, very receptive to all the team members.
And people were polite to you here?
Oh, absolutely. No comparison to any place like Meadowlands or Detroit. Head and shoulders above.
Really? How about the women?
I'm married. I love my wife.
Okay, thanks, Kenny. Good talking to you. Well, that was Kenny, one of the truck drivers for the Newman Haas team. Trucks, evidently, that they've brought into this event. Pretty sleek. Ken, two, and what's your name?
Carl Gibler.
Carl, and so you're one of the drivers. You drive this across country?
Yes.
These trucks are incredible.
Yeah, they quite specialized.
How many? Now this is a Kenworth. How many? How big is the motor in it?
This is a 444 Cummins engine.
Is it a turbocharged?
Yes, it is, and after-cooled.
And what?
And after-cooled.
Oh my God! I won't even ask you how fast it goes. How fast does it go?
55, 65 in states that are 65.
Is it air ride suspension all the way around?
Yes, it is.
Can you tell us a little bit about these wheel covers? These are pretty incredible. Are they not wheel covers?
They are wheel covers, and they're from a company in California that specializes in making equipment for race teams.
They look like porcelain or something.
They're actually aluminum, and they're painted.
What kind of unique things do you have inside of the cab for those of us who drive trucks across the country?
Well, it has an engine brake, it has heated mirrors, it has power mirrors, things like that.
It has a lot of chrome on it and a lot of white paint.
Yes, it does.
Okay, good talking to you. Thanks.